Hey guys, this is the Balkan Architect, and in today's video I will be showing you how to create this cool looking visual style. So this is just a studio project I did for school last semester, and as if you're in school you probably know that this kind of visual style is quite popular these days because of... So I thought I might show you how to create something like this using Revit and a little bit of Photoshop. But before I get started, I would just like to ask you to like this video, it helps me out a lot, and if you haven't already, I suggest you subscribe because I make videos like these every day. Okay, so here I am, this is just a 3D view, this is the project. So I'm just going to go to ground level, and here we're just going to create a view that looks at this building. So I'm just going to go here to camera, and I'll leave the offset at 1.75 meters. So I'll just create that view. Okay, now because this is looking straight ahead and the building is, it's tall, so we can just select this, basically this frame, and then you go into the properties panel, and here you can find eye elevation and target elevation, and just for the target elevation I'm going to basically type in a higher number, so let's type in 20. Yeah, and you can see it kind of looked up a bit. So now we can crop this view to maybe be like this, some widescreen movie-like cinematic view. Okay, so now once we have this, we need to edit something to create this wireframe view. So first here we can see this that we have this pink and green colors. If I go to ground level, you can see that's basically just the CAD file that I overlaid. So you can either unpin it and delete it, or even better, just select it in any view and go to your 3D view, and you can go here to this hide in view, open up this drop menu and click hide in view. So now you can't see that anymore. Okay, so another thing you can do, you can go here to, let's set this detail level at fine, and then let's open up this visual styles menu and go to graphic display options. So most of the stuff you have to set up over here. So first you can either do transparency or you can do shadows. Now I prefer to have both transparency and shadows, but as you can see here, if I check shadows and then I turn on transparency, you can see now it unchecked shadows because we can't have a view that's both using shadows and transparency. So what you need to do is you need to set up one that's using just shadows. So go apply, and as you can see, this is quite dark now, so we need to make those shadows a bit lighter. So open up this lighting drop menu, and here for the shadows just bring it down to, let's say, 10. Go apply, and as you can see, the shadows are a bit brighter. Maybe we can bring it up to 15 to look maybe a bit more aggressive. Let's try 15. Apply. Okay. Okay, so the shadows look about right now, but then when we zoom in and if I turn off this thin lines command, you can see the lines are a bit thick. So if this is printed on a large piece of paper, like, I don't know, a meter wide, that will be quite aggressive and it will be too dark. So to change that, you need to select basically this whole frame and go here to crop, to size crop, open it up, and here you need to set the actual width you will be using later on in print. And make sure you check this scale log proportions, so when you stretch this up or when you make it larger, it will proportionately become larger. So let's say this is about 50 centimeters, so I'm going to type in here 500 millimeters, go apply. Okay, and as you can see, it became larger, but the actual dimensions, the actual proportions stayed the same. So that's the second thing we need to set up. Now to add some color, it doesn't have to be black and white like this. You can actually add color into these wireframe views, and to do so you need to select whatever you want to color. So I'm just going to go into this generic 3D view, and I'm just going to start selecting maybe these arcs. They look kind of nice, so I can select a bunch of them. maybe select a few over here. And now I go back into my 3D view 1, and as you can see, they're selected over here. Now you have to be in the view you're actually working in. I even selected this over here. Let's undo that selection. Okay, so, and maybe let's add this sphere as well. And now I'm just going to right click, go override graphics in view by element. And over here we can basically change the graphics. So here I can go into projection lines, which is this wireframe setting, and here for the lines I can set the thickness of the line, so I can set it at, I don't know, maybe 2, and for the color I can change it into, let's say, red. Go OK, apply, OK, and as you can see it went from black and white into colored view. So now we have these arcs that are actually red, and our sphere is red as well. Now to export this view, so I'm just going to go here to Revit, go export, find image and animation, find image, and here you need to set basically the output where you want your image to go. So I'm just going to place it on desktop, call it Steel Monster V6 1, go save, and here for the fit, the maximum is usually around 1500 millimeters, so, or pixels. So I set it at that. Now it might look like an overkill to you, but don't worry, it's just to get better graphics. If you go any lower, it will kind of be pixelated, it wouldn't look good. And here for the format, I usually use TIFF. For some reason when I use JPEG, it kind of degrades the photo and makes it, I don't know, makes it pixelated and doesn't look right. So I just go TIFF and I go OK, and now we have exported this shaded view from Revit. Now once we've done that, we need to create our wireframe view. So I'm going to go here to 3D view 1, right click, go duplicate, view, duplicate with detailing, and here I have this new view. Let's rename it, let's call it 3D view 1 wireframe. Go OK, and now here I can set this to wireframe, and as you can see it kinda looks all silly, so I'm just going to go back to shaded because this just doesn't look right. So I'm going to go hidden line, and then I'm going to open up this graphic display options, and as you can remember, here we have this transparency, so I'll bring that up to, I don't know, like 60, go apply, and as you can see this looks a lot better, maybe even at 40. Yeah, that looks kinda nice. And for the lighting, let's bring these up and let's bring the shadows down, go apply, OK. So now we have this wireframe view. You can see, we can see the whole construction over here, and everything looks kinda futuristic and weird. So once that's completed, you can go here again to export, image, and then leave the same settings, just change the output here to Steel Monster V6 2, go save, OK. Okay, so now let's go to desktop. I'm just going to minimize this. I'll right click on one of these and open them up in Photoshop. Okay, so here we have the shaded view. Now I'm just going to minimize this window, and I'm going to take this wireframe view and kinda slide it across, open this up. Okay, I'm just going to check this button. So now we have our wireframe view over here over the top. So I'm just going to go Ctrl T to put it in place. Now you can see it's in the middle, go OK. And as you can see, we can only see the wireframe. Now we can't really see the shaded one. So what I like to do is I like to select the wireframe and go here to multiply. So now we can see both the actual wireframe and the shaded view in the same time. And if you want to make it look even cooler, you can maybe make it black and white, so just invert it, make it look like this. But as you can see, the colors have changed, so now I can go into hue saturation and I can use this hue to change the color back to red. So that's how you get these cool looking wireframe views for your architectural concepts. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like and share this video. If you have any questions, comments or suggestions for future tutorials, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.